Welcome, everyone. We're the Level Up Village team, and we're pleased to have you with us today to talk about helping your students make real gains in intercultural competence. I am Paula Van Els. I'm the Learning Program Manager for Level Up Village, and now I will have my colleagues introduce themselves to you. Jen?
I'm Jennifer Doberful-Quinlan, and I'm the Proficiency and Learning Specialist at LTI, and I get to work with these guys a little bit on the Level Up Village products.
And I am Scott Gravina. I am the Director of Product Development. It's great to have you all here with us today at this virtual presentation. We would all love to be live and in person, as I'm sure you would as well, but here we are. So as we get started, please feel free to use the chat function that's on your screen someplace. And we are actually here live, so we would be happy to answer any questions that you may have as they come along. So with that, I think we'll get started. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Level Up Village, I'd like to tell you a little bit about who we are and introduce you to our mission. That is to globalize the classroom by facilitating intercultural collaboration between students from around the world. And how do we do this? Well, we do it by pairing students in classrooms from diverse cultures who share common academic interests and objectives so that they can collaborate with each other and learn directly from their global peers. So since 2012, when we were founded, we have connected over 1,000 classrooms in more than 20 countries from around the world. So in collaboration with their global peers, students will work on independent tasks and projects that they can gain firsthand knowledge of the cultures that they're studying in class, and they experience real-world communication on a global scale. It's really all about providing students with unique, meaningful learning experience that can help them develop cultural competence and become true global citizens.
So why do we think cultural competence is important? First, students need to build 21st century skills: critical thinking, communication skills, creativity, problem solving, perseverance, collaboration, information literacy, technology skills, and digital literacy. Students need the ability to understand and respect differences. They need the ability to practice interacting empathetically and effectively with people in other countries, starting with their own peers. We think these points are extremely important and will impact future success of students here in the US and around the world. You do too, and that's why you've joined us today. So to help students reach a high level of intercultural competence, we have 2 programs in development that we want to tell you about today.
And the first of these 2 programs is our Global Connections courses. Our goal here is really focusing on building intercultural communication skills, right? Enabling your students to connect with peers from around the world and to have a unique discovery learning experience. Here, the students are going to use the language skills that they're learning in class for a true real-world application. So with this, of course, they do it in a very safe and secure environment where you, the teacher, are able to monitor and control all student posts, any interactions that are happening, and to ensure that what they're doing is really targeting your intercultural communication learning objectives. So we created Global Connections because we know that developing intercultural competency in students can be a challenge for many teachers, whether it be due to a lack of authentic resources or time, or even student interests. But we know that cultural learning is really an essential component of language learning, and is so important for helping students to develop global competency and understand the value of all the work that they're doing in class. Learning a language is not just about learning the language itself. It's an essential tool for authentic intercultural communication. So what we focus on with Global Connections is helping your students make those real-world connections, peers who can help your students to really live the culture that they're learning, to bring what they may be learning from a book or other class resources to life for them.
All right, we have done quite a bit of research over the past 18 months in the development of this program, and we're aware of all the things that you already do to try to boost your students' intercultural communication styles. You can see the question we asked in a past survey about what resources do teachers use to develop students' intercultural communication skills. If you look here, you'll see 5 of the 7 resources listed above involve some sort of direct interaction with the target culture, yet they are the least used. Why? Because it's really hard. It can be really complicated to make authentic interaction happen. So we agree that interaction and collaboration are indeed the best way to increase students' intercultural communication. And through our pairing, our platform, and our content, we have made it much easier to do.
So this would be a great opportunity to look at the bigger picture, really how Global Connections works and how you can get your students involved. So first and foremost, the idea is that by joining Level Up Village, you're really joining a global community of educators, right? People like you who are interested in helping their students have real-world experiences, gain cultural insight, and really to make some significant gains in intercultural competency. So what happens is once you join the global community, you're matched with another classroom. It's based on certain parameters which you're able to define or have the system find a classroom partner that would be the best match for you. Students on both sides then create the profile videos and share those with their global peers. You'll see here, it's really a one-to-all sort of model where every interaction or video post that the student creates is shared with the entire classroom on the other side. So then they all in turn have the opportunity to respond to as many posts as they can. In this way, students have the opportunity to meet and to connect with a variety of students from the global peer classroom and to be exposed to a broader array of cultural perspectives. They then move on to the investigate and interact tasks, right? These are a series of asynchronous video posts that are aligned to the topic and the learning objectives of each course. This is really the central component of the course, where students create their own cultural content. They learn from their peers and interact back and forth with each other, either by video or by text chat. Students then, upon the completion of this series of tasks, are asked to make a cultural comparison or to reflect upon the cultural products, practices, and perspectives that they've been discussing with their global peers. They take these experiences that they've had with their peers to think critically about them and think about what they've learned. So for teachers, one of the first steps here is really to set up your classroom. You would want to choose a course that aligns with your curriculum goals, and you make a few choices about the content and the prompts and all the content that the students are going to see. The idea here is really to align the experience that your students will have in Global Connections to reinforce the materials that they're learning in class. So while this is not designed to be a language learning experience, right, it does provide an excellent opportunity for students to practice language skills they're developing in class and to focus on the cultural learning and developing intercultural communication skills.
All right, this is an overview of the structure of a Love Global Connections course. Right? It follows, let me bring the whole thing up here. It follows a consistent format which is designed to maximize interaction between students. First, students introduce themselves by creating a profile, as Scott mentioned, with video. This helps students get to know each other and feel comfortable sharing aspects of their culture. Second, students create videos on a topic. They receive videos from their peers and they react to their peers' videos and receive a response to their own. So it's really in 4 steps. The students can explore one or several topics in the investigate and interact moment of their course. All right. Then they reflect on what they've learned through the exchange. So you see right here where it says introduce, investigate, interact, and reflect. Those are your 4 basic components of each course, and investigate and interact can repeat multiple times within the course. All right. Jen?
So can-dos, how does this kind of support and integrate with what Paul and Scott are talking about? Of course, can-do statements help teacher planning. We've all used them that way. They're great for student self-assessment and reflection. We've probably all used them that way as well. But how often do we feel like we're effective at writing can-dos for intercultural communication as educators? It can kind of be hard. Just like Scott said, it can be hard to even integrate culture effectively and find good resources and whatnot. So these can-dos that come with your course, they integrate the products, practices, and perspectives with intercultural communication. And using these can-do statements is really part of a support that helps you as an educator integrate your whole curriculum. So, that's kind of a really nice thing to have this resource that just helps you pull all the pieces together. So I think we should look at examples of how the course works, guys.
All right. As we mentioned, for the students, the first step in every course is creating a profile video. Again, the goals are for students to make personal connections, not just to one student, but to several students, and to build empathy to lower affective filter. All of these pave the way for increased communication. We know that students are generally over-communicating on social media. With Global Connections courses, we're aiming to harness their creativity and their desire to connect socially and use those for the purpose of building and boosting intercultural communication skills. Here we see a clip of our student from Mexico introducing himself to a peer in New Jersey.
I have a pet, is Canelo, and is a dog, is a Chihuahua. He have 5 years old, so it's very young, I think, because the Chihuahuas can live like 21 years old. My favorite things are play video games or watch movies with my family. But I play video games more because my family don't have a lot of time to watch movies.
So after posting this video, this student that you see here will receive one or multiple responses to his video. Students explaining that they also have a dog, that they like to watch movies with their families or not. It's really very engaging for the student to get that personalized response from several students. Students move on from the profile video to their first topic task of the course, which is their investigate element of their own culture. So this is a sample task for creating a video. The topic is a typical school day. Students are asked to chronicle their day in a video, narrate it, and post it. It'll be approved by you, the teacher, and then seen by all the students in the class. So here we're going to watch a video from a student in New Jersey, a Spanish student, and she's going to explain her typical school day in a minute. We're just going to show you 30 seconds of this. She's in her car, which is a good place not to wear your mask and to be able to speak about your school day. And you're going to see how she explains it. And then what you won't be seeing is that she will get a response back to her video that she posts. She in particular posts about her school day. All right.
Hola, este es mi cara y voy a hablar sobre un día normal para mí. Primero me levanto a las 6 de la mañana y me preparo por ducharme ante anoche. Durante la mañana me visto y hago mi bolsa con mi carpeta y mi computadora portátil. Y entonces yo conduzco a la escuela con mis hermanos por mi carro.
All right. So students, like I said, receive the videos and then they respond to them. So this respond prompt is in English here, but you and your partner teacher will decide which task you want to do in which language. Again, these sets of tasks mirror the NCSSFL ACTFL Investigate and Interact stages of the intercultural communication, proficiency benchmarks, and performance indicators, which we know are useful. They're embedded in here, all right? In the first video, the student in Mexico is responding to a video from a student in New Jersey and highlighting the similarities and differences of their days. In the second video, the student in New Jersey is responding to the student in Mexico who showed her how they move through their day of virtual school and to her comments about liking manga drawings, okay? So again, they can get quite specific and that's, I think, the fun part for them, okay? So we'll just watch these videos here for a second so you can see how they work.
Hola, soy Eduardo José y hoy voy a explicar las similitudes y diferencias que tengo con ella. Las similitudes que tengo con ella es que primero nos paramos, tenemos el mismo proceso de aseo personal, nos lavamos la cara, nos cepillamos los dientes, nos peinamos, pues vamos a la escuela en carro, tenemos actividades extra después de clase. Las diferencias que tenemos es que no nos paramos a la misma hora.
¿Le gusta escuela virtual? Porque a mí no me gusta escuela virtual. No. Y durante mi año ahora, escuela es en física totalmente y me gusta en física más que en virtual. Y entonces mi novio le gusta manga muchísimo. No sé qué es la favorita de él, pero ¿qué es su favorita? Gracias.
Scott?
Okay. So we all know how important a reflection opportunity is in the learning process, right? This reflection assignment gives students the opportunity to self-assess and to think about the experiences that they've just had. They can make cross-cultural comparisons, reflect on the product's practices and perspectives they've been discussing with their peers, really, and think about where they may have missed an opportunity to engage with their partners in ways that could improve their communication in the future. And so there are several options for how students may share their reflections, whether that be through the creation of a final video project that can create a written assignment or a class presentation. These are just a few of the options that might be possible. And you might also consider using these student reflections as an excellent source of evidence of students' intercultural learning, right? Perhaps as a resource that you could share with parents or administrators at your school as a capstone project to show the outcomes that this intercultural experience has had on your students.
So we are just beginning a formal study of how to assess student outcomes, but our goal is to measure student gains in intercultural communication skills, global awareness and empathy, confidence in communicating with peers from another culture, and their sense of global citizenship. Students will have a list of can-dos related to the global course learning objective. They'll be able to self-assess as they go along or at the end of each course. As teachers, for the duration of the course, you'll have an invaluable video portfolio of student performance and rubrics related to the can-do statements that you can use to assess student performance. Our early tests show that with this framework, students stay engaged in sustained intercultural communication with their global partners and classmates. We know that this is critical to students' ability to acquire and retain intercultural competence.
So just taking off of what Paula said, it can be really hard to measure intercultural communication. It can even be hard to measure like how into this cultural exploration are my students, and are they going to remember anything? Well, when we think of overall proficiency, we really do want to think about these cultural elements, and it can be hard to integrate them into our curriculum. So the beauty, I think, of these global connections courses is that you have a really nice, concise package that hits kind of those spots that can be hard for us as educators. You can see like you've got backward design, so that ensures alignment of your objectives, your content, your activities, your assessments. It's all planned and mapped together. You have these modules that can flex for the collaborative portion. You have the scaffolded assignments that are also, again, directly aligned with your outcomes. And then, of course, the can-do statements, which help with that reflection and awareness. So it's kind of all just, nicely packaged together. It's really an intentionally designed program that's targeted at developing cultural competency, which, of course, is an important part of overall development of proficiency. And then, of course, we have an exciting development that will have 4 languages in 2022. So that'll be English, Spanish, French, and German. So lots of good things going on here.
Great.
So we are launching our beta membership plan this fall, and we are looking certainly for teachers, educators of all walks who are interested in becoming part of this global community. We hope that you are. We'd love to count on you and your support. We will be offering both free and premium memberships for individual teachers, department, school, and district-wide. So lots of opportunities, lots of engagement opportunities for your students, lots of learning to be had, lots of cultural fun and excitement. So we do hope you'll join us. We look forward to seeing you, and we hope please contact us anytime. Our website is levelupvillage.com, and there you'll see the contact us form. I think at the end of this presentation, we'll also be giving you our direct email contact, so please feel free to reach out directly as well.
Great. All right, but there's more. All right, that courses is our first offering for Global Connections, and our second offering in Global Connections is experiences. All right, Level Up Village has partnered with the language coaches from a company called Lingua Meeting to create this product. This product is a tool for cultural learning, and it's all in the target language. All right. Experiences is a 30 to 40 minute recorded session about a target country or region hosted by a guide from that country or region speaking the language. It includes a virtual tour, guided activities, and an optional live question and answer session at the end. Let me give you a quick idea of the guided virtual visits. You'll see a live host guide you through a visit to another country. The hosts show all kinds of interesting cultural things. In Argentina, for example, the guide explains all about the culture of making mate. He also shows the tango and explains its origins in the neighborhood of San Telmo. And in Peru, the theme is Peru is more than Machu Picchu. And the host shows us lesser known Incan ruins and his hike getting to them. In Cali, we get to take a bike ride down the Boulevard del Rio, see the architecture, public art, gardens, and watch the host, Sebastian. I'm going to go back here 1 second. This is Sebastian, our host from Cali, okay? And he takes you down the Boulevard del Rio on his bike. And you even get to watch him eat snacks and a chelado and some fried things. So it's meant to give you that live feeling of being on the street with Sebastian, okay? All right, so let's watch a few minutes of the bike ride through Cali.
¿Vamos a llamar ahora? ¿Sí?
Vamos a llamarlo. Sí.
3, 2, 1, Sebastián.
Sebastián.
Hola chicos, yo soy Sebastián. Bienvenidos a Experiencias Lingua Meeting en un paseo por bici en Cali. Hoy estamos en el Boulevard del Río, en un lugar donde se encuentra la iglesia La Ermita. ¿Okay? Acompáñenme a dar un paseo por Cali. Bueno chicos, aquí tenemos el cholado, como lo pueden ver. Muy refrescante. Entonces, tenemos la manzana, tenemos crema de leche, lecherita, galletas wafer. Es una muy buena combinación. Y en la mitad del cholado está el lulo, está el maracuyá, está la papaya, está la piña y está el mango. Chicos, ¿a ustedes les gusta la piña, el mango o la papaya? ¿O casi no?
Isn't that fun? Like, I just love that element of feeling like you're right on the street. So let's talk a little bit now about the activity sets. They include pre, during, and post-session activities that are in both English and the host language. So, for example, the session we just saw in Cali is in Spanish, so the activities are available in English and Spanish. All the activities are tagged for the 3 Ps, and with the intercultural can-do statements at the appropriate level. As a bonus, there's also a set of Kahoot questions that are available to you in both languages. So you can put those into your own game. It makes it really kind of fun and just one extra little thing, one extra fun little thing.
An additional optional feature is a live question and answer period with the session host. So for example, after your class watches and does the activities for Kali, for example, you can arrange for them to meet the hosts and ask lots of questions. You don't have to ask your students to imagine they're asking someone from Colombia a question about their country. They will get to have an authentic cultural interaction. They can actually ask questions of the person they saw showing them Kali. So here you have a picture of an actual classroom of students who did the Cali Colombia bike ride, and they are talking with one of the hosts, Daniela, here up on the screen, and they took turns answering her questions, and she brought up maps and pictures and art exhibits, and she just brought up everything that she knows and understands about Kali according to their questions. And so that was really amazing. They had great questions for her and she gave them excellent, clear answers. So your students, again, don't have to imagine it. They can really do it.
I think it was really fun for them, having seen the video, the bike ride through Cali, right, and getting to have a certain level of familiarity with the city based on what they saw. And then the follow-up was an opportunity for them to then ask some specific questions that they wanted to know, not only about what they saw in the video and the bike ride in Cali in particular, but they were even asking, general questions about what life is like in Colombia and what it's like to be a student there. And so it was really an engaging session for them.
Quiero venir a Cali. ¿Qué debo hacer primero?
Pienso que primero tienes que visitar el bulevar, ¿sí? El bulevar es el camino hacia el Gato del Río. Es todo este camino. Empieza más o menos aquí, ¿sí? Y vas caminando por acá, por acá, por acá. Es todo esto, ¿sí? Al Gato del Río, el museo, la iglesia, la ermita. ¿Se acuerdan en la experiencia, la iglesia?
Es Cali muy grande y ¿dónde está en Colombia?
Muy bien. No, Cali no es muy grande, es mediano, ¿sí? Pero es una de las ciudades más importantes de Colombia. Las ciudades más importantes son Bogotá, capital, Cali, Medellín, ¿sí? Son las tres más importantes de Colombia. Vamos aquí.
As Paula mentioned here, we currently have 3 experiences that are available. Our bike ride through Cali in Colombia, the journey to Choquequirao, which is on the Incan Trail in Peru, and then a cultural exploration of Argentina. And so these 3 experiences are available for your students today. If you are interested, please visit our website at levelupvillage.com and you can find more information there about it, or please feel free to contact us. And of course, we are very interested in building new cultural experiences for the coming year. We're always looking for teachers who are engaged in cultural exploration, in intercultural communication, and in working with their students, and would have suggestions for us, want to share their ideas and thoughts about what might be a truly engaging experience for their students. So please reach out, let us know, see how we can help. We'd love to work with you. And we do plan on releasing a whole new series in the spring. So we hope you'll join us.
That is the end of our presentation and all the information we have about our 2 products in development, which we hope to hear from you about. And here we are going to post a link to a Zoom meeting room in the chat. And if you'd like to ask us questions about what you just saw, join us in the meeting room. We will be there and we'll be very happy to answer any questions that you have. If you don't have time now and you want to contact us later, you can contact any of the three of us by our first initial and last name at languagetesting.com. You see the three names here. And again, we would love to hear from you. So thanks again for joining.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.